Nobody really uses lace doilies anymore for decorating, except maybe your grandma, and your grandma's really cool, so let's not diss your grandma, but we can use them in a unique and new way. Hi everybody, I'm ALB, and today we are going to be making some vintage lace doily plates. Here's what you're gonna need. Lace doilies, easy access to some water, oven-baked clay, parchment paper, acrylic paint, and high-gloss varnish, some sponges, a rolling pin, and an oven-safe plate. Basically, what I'm going to be doing with my clay is using my rolling pin to flatten it out. I like for my clay to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. You don't really want to go over 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to get it as circular shaped as possible. This works really well if you have a lot of upper arm strength. Whew, I'm working up a sweat, y'all. All right, so we're just about at the right thickness. Now for the fun part. We are going to take one of our lace doilies. I personally like this one. The trick to this is to wet this, soak it in water, squeeze all of the water out, because then your clay will not stick to the lace doily. So I'm gonna put it in my water, and I'm squeezing all the water out. I feel like I'm making a pizza right now. Whoop. We're gonna take our doily and carefully lay it on top of our clay that we've rolled out. The design, I want it to be as clear as possible. Now we're gonna take our rolling pin again, and we are going to roll the lace doily into the clay. This is kind of what it should look like. Your clay and your lace doily should be about at the same level. And now the extremely satisfying part of peeling the lace off of your clay. Ah, I love how that looks. So this looks awesome. It has a really good texture, but the edges are kind of ugly. So I'm just gonna take a bowl that I already own, and then I'm just going to trace around the edges with a knife so I get a perfect circle. There we go. Lift the bowl up and peel away the excess. Now this is super cute on its own, but personally, I really like a scalloped edge on a plate. So that's super easy to do. I'm just gonna take my knife and cut triangles out to create the scallop. I like to, before I put anything in the oven, take a sponge and dip it in water, and I like to go around the edges of my piece to smooth out any sharp edges. So this particular clay that I'm using, I need to bake at 275 for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch. If you want your plate to be completely flat, you can cook your plate on another oven-safe plate. But if you want the edges to curl up, I recommend placing your plate into a bowl and gently curling the edges upward by pushing it gently into the bowl. Here we have our baked plate. It turned out so cute, and it's like a little treasure bowl. So the next step is to paint this. Now what I like to do is paint the whole thing one solid color and then go in and do details with white. So now I've completely finished painting my plate and it's dry, which is awesome because I can move on to the next step. What I'm gonna do is dip my paintbrush into the white and only highlight the raised surfaces on the plate. And this will highlight all of the interesting textures that the lace gives us. When you're done painting all the raised surfaces on your plate with the white, you're gonna wanna give it a coat of high gloss varnish. It locks in your paint, and high gloss varnish just looks super good, especially on flatware. And when you're done, it will look a little something like this. The texture of the lace really shines through, and it's a really nice way to display jewelry. You can have it with your keys by the front door, anything that's a special treasure that you want to keep nice and displayed beautifully. These are just the prettiest dishes, and if you want to see the full lace tutorial on how to make them, head on over to cbc.ca/life. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.